Hi, folks. Yeah, I got a haircut. Big thing I tell a lot of people, this is VR for apartment prepper. She is wondering about freeze-dried foods. Uncle Alan did the whole routine last 40 years, did harvest right freeze dryers, helped several church groups with that. Also, I tested a lot of disgusting freeze dried foods. American freeze dried foods are one of the worst in the world. Japan's way up here, America's near Zimbabwe. Okay? A lot of places have better freeze dried foods. America is buyer beware. Okay? If you're not used to it, you have to always test out your food. I always tell people good points of freeze dried food. It's lightweight. You get all you want in pouches. Just add boiling water. Okay, that's great. Go check out Van City Prepper. They always have freeze dried foods. It's easy. It's lightweight. There's a meal right there. Okay, now the bad side of freeze dried food. The amount of water you use to cook with that, and the amount of water you have to use for digestion. Okay, freeze dried foods react differently in certain people. So I tell a lot of people before you buy these 72-hour packs, buckets, whatever, because I've been on several panels on several live streams discussing this over and over and over again. I'm tired. Okay? Small children, the elderly, and disabled have different digestive needs. If all of a sudden you surprise them with freeze dried foods, either commercial or homemade, and if you botch up homemade freeze dried foods, you're going to have two things: total constipation or diarrhea. Now, if you have a bowel thing operation, I don't recommend freeze dried foods. You either have diarrhea or constipation. Both you be screaming at the toilet. So I tell apartment prepper, I'll show you tricks to take care of that. All right? Two, amount of water you need to make the food. If it says 2 cups of water, you add 2 cups of water. Most of these have high sodium, high glucose, you name it. They say, oh, it's low in sodium and stuff. No, read it carefully. Okay? Sodium's hidden other things. And then you read the amount of sodium you have. Okay? Uncle Han's been doing this for a long time. And most of the stuff that freeze dried, I could redo it from stuff from the grocery store. If I had a film crew and a technician to edit stuff, I'll show you ways that you'll be amazed. A lot of survival and prepping channels are just selling this. Okay? Used to be one company I won't name that got banned because they had cockroaches and rodent feces in their food. Another was using so much harsh chemicals in it, like uh, formaldehyde. Yeah, preserve dead bodies, preserve food, freeze dried, really good. And certain other chemical components that you're not supposed to put in freeze dried foods. Okay? Those are the two companies that got busted and they got their hands slapped. So they said it's still safe to eat. Yeah, if you're a healthy human being. Reason why the US government didn't went totally on freeze dried foods, they found out during Vietnam a lot of their special forces guys has digestion distress. Food fatigue wasn't the problem. Screaming and trying to find toilet paper was. You either had the runs, diarrhea, rabbit dropping watery mess, or you have the other way. It's a compacted. One guy, his whole colon has to be removed and replaced because it was compacted. That's a bad thing about freeze dried foods and also dehydrated foods. Dehydrated foods were popular, and a lot of channel poo-pooed it and stuff like that, because they're selling some other means and stuff, or they're trying to get points or views and stuff and causing drama. Uncle Alan doesn't do that. I don't sell anything. I don't do anything. This is your experience. I'm not a dealer. I don't sell freeze-dried foods. I don't sell flashlights. I don't sell gear. I don't sell you the magic shovel to kill people. No, just plain old Uncle Al. Okay? And this is for apartment prepper. VR for apartment prepper. You gotta remember that. Okay? Uncle Alan's tired. I've been doing this for a long, long time. So I took a break, got it shampooed, scalp massage, got a haircut for $45, and I tipped the girl. Okay? Nice girl, big boobs. Not a problem, because Uncle Alan uses his head. So you got your freeze-dried food. Okay? Breakfast is simple. You want something high carbohydrates. Oatmeal is popular. You can do that at home. Get some quick oats. Get a, whatchamacallit, whatever sugar flavoring you like, cinnamon, and a couple of drops of, I usually add about 1/8 teaspoon of vanilla. And then you add your dried fruits. Could be raisins, big currants, dates, whatever, and nuts, whatever you want, into your oatmeal. You could also do it with grape nuts. The simple version is Nido and grape nuts and a packet of sweetener. And then you add your, whatchamacallit, oxygen absorbent. Back to the oatmeal, you could add cinnamon to it, nutmeg. I could do 150 different things for breakfast. Okay? It's simple. You could do corn porridge. You could do this. You could do that. You can make grits. It's not rocket science, folks. It's fairly easy. Lunch, you want something digestible. Now, I told my nephews they could pick out something. They could, a retort package, which is MREs. And like I said, lowest bidder in America. When I go to Japan, it's like gourmet America. It's like, oh, it's dog food again. Okay? But if you pick out retort packages, that's a whole different feel from freeze-dried foods. You have to be careful. Do not freeze-dry milk. Do not freeze-dry eggs. You can freeze-dry cook eggs, but I don't recommend it because high chance of you goofed it up and contaminated the whole thing. And shrimp. Okay, most other things you can freeze dry it. You gotta watch the fat content and understand this: freeze drying at home or freeze drying commercially, you need a lot of water for cooking and digestion. So understand that. And dirty water don't work. Okay. So this is you. You make your breakfast. You save money. Don't have to buy the freeze-dried breakfast. That's a total waste of time. But it's good for a main meal. Usually I tell a lot of people, buy the dinners. Okay? You have a suitcase. You got all your other stuff, including vegetables and meat. And then you have your freeze-dried meals. Those right there, okay, are main meals. Okay? Skip the breakfast, skip the lunch. You want a dinner portion. All right, should be for one or two people. Not rocket science, folks. Do not get these food buckets or mass amounts. Where are you going to store the excess food? And will it stay fresh or will it spoil really bad? You don't want to, like, 3 days later, like, it's green and it's smiling at me, Uncle Al. Okay, you don't want to see that. All right, so you take 1 or 2 person proportions and you put that in your suitcase. On the other side, you should have dry fruit that you like and eat. Anybody who says dehydrated food isn't good, okay, they're talking out of their poo-ho. All right, dehydrated food has been used for the last 2,000 years. Not a problem. When you rehydrate it or boil fruits or boil fruits, it's not a problem, okay? If you don't like dried raisins, soak them in hot water and then add brandy and a little vanilla. not a problem. Okay? If you eat it dry, you're going to have intestinal problem again. Okay, I keep telling people, you need water for digestion and water for pooing. You need water for preparation and you need water for cooking. That's the only bad thing about freeze dried. So you have a suitcase full of dinners. You have your homemade breakfast and lunch. I go with old school. You want to eat hardtack and salt pork or jerky, real jerky, not this stuff you buy at the store. And a lot of people turn green and run the other way. It's still a good hog's head. Okay? Because I can know how to salt pork hog's head. And once people see I do that, they like, their mouths open, they run away. Because Uncle Alan eats a lot of weird stuff. Okay? And remember, learn how to cook. So, that's the easiest way for apartment prepper. Pick out a dinner meal and buy one, test it yourself, and test it for your brother. Because your brother's like me, highly diabetic, and has internal organ problems. You don't want him either running to the bathroom, bazooka diarrhea, or bazooka vomiting the other way, or both. So test each meal. Make sure you have enough for 7 days, and put it in a small suitcase. And that's it. Lightweight, easy. You have your breakfast. You have dried fruit and dried meat and some kind of hard cracker for lunch and probably an instant soup. I prefer ramen. And I can put down either steamed, pickled, or dried vegetables on top. It's not rocket science, folks. And remember, Uncle Al does not sell any products. I don't sell Nutrisystem. I don't sell freeze-dried. I don't sell flashlights. I don't sell knives. When I do a gear review, you better be scared because I'll put it through the ringer. Okay, folks, and this is for Apartment Prepper. Check out Apartment Prepper and Sassy Gal. And I'll be seeing you. Catch you later.